I just hate waiting for car parts. Hi guys, welcome to Lark's Workshop. If you're new to the channel, I'm Larks, and today we've got this lovely little 2006 Mini to play with. Now this is my mother's car, and she wanted me to put on some reversing sensors. So what I've got is just a cheap set of reversing sensors. They're in silver. I know it won't match, but for now, until we get a chance to maybe get a little sort of colour match spray can, I'm sure this will do. Hang on, how bad is it? Depends how you look at it, doesn't it? Not too bad there. We'll see. Anyway, we'll see. I'm waffling on already. Hang on. Anyway, back to the car. This is my mum's little pride and joy. It's a 2006 Mini. It's a little Cooper, not a Cooper S. And I know it's a bit damp and it's very dirty because it's at our house and everything gets dirty at our house. But what a lovely, lovely little car. It's only done 60,000 miles. I think that's it. It'll be there somewhere. Is it? Oh no, oil service soon. There you go. 60,000 miles. And it's like new inside. I mean, my mum does look after her stuff, but look, apart from it being dirty from meanness, it's lovely. So yeah, so basically we're going to stick some reversing sensors in. Oh look, oh, that'll polish out, that's right. Going to put some reversing sensors in the back of this little car, and I don't really know what I'm doing for this. I've done reversing sensors plenty of times before. I say plenty, probably a couple, but so we'll find out. And but yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? And if you do like what we're doing here and would like to help the channel grow, please give us a thumbs up. And I've got to admit, I've been putting this off for a little bit. I've been here a little while. Luckily my mum hasn't needed her car, but I'm a bit nervous. I don't normally work on nice cars, and this is nice, and it's my mum's baby, and I don't want to damage it. Proceed with caution. So like I was saying, this is just a really cheap eBay kit that I'm going to put on. It's just the buzzer only type. I don't really like the ones with the flashy lights. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of connections to do, really. It looks worse than it is. And there's some amazing instructions that come with it. I can't remember how much this is because I bought it a while ago. Less than £20, let's put it that way. So yeah, let's make a start by, I suppose, first thing, got to get the back bumper off. Just had a look around and there doesn't seem too much holding this back bumper on. There's, I've got to pull that, I'll have to prise that one off. The little buffer there. There's a little Phillips screw there. And under the wheel arch, there's a little plastic, see that one there? Little screw that looks like a pop type, so you unscrew it a bit and then pop it out. There's something under here because that is tight, so I reckon this pops off, and I think there's a little screw up there. Can you see that? So I think you've got to pull this bit off first, and then there must be a clip of some sort underneath, under there, and then underneath, excuse me, lying down on the job, there's a screw there and a screw there, and there are screws at the end as well. There's one there, look. But there's one here, I'm not sure, sorry, waving you about, that might not have to come out because it seems to move with the bumper, but I think I'll take it out anyway because it's only a little Phillips. So it's, well, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's one at the other end, 5. So I'll set you up on a camera stand called a tripod because that's what you put cameras on. Sorry, it's one of the mornings. And we'll whip it off. Oh yeah, not forgetting, got to take disconnect that, wherever that is. So totally ignore what I said about the nut underneath there. It doesn't do anything. It's a pop off on this, and it needs to come out that sort of a way. And it is just clips, but well, we'll see. And before you panic, yeah, my mag base, I've put loads of masking tape around it, protect the paintwork. So to try and get in here without damaging anything, I'm just using my little plastic tool, and then hopefully that'll lever out. And I think there's multiples. There we go. There's our screw. Right, I'm going to set you up properly now and then time lapse the rest of it off. It's off. It was a faff. There was extra fasteners that I couldn't see. So that's the ones under the wheel arch, and they're further down. I missed them, which are just these little thingies where you unscrew them and pop them out. And then after you'd undone that, you could pull it away, and there's another little 8mm headed bolt going through that bracket to there. So got that off, and then it was hung up on this little metal bracket at the top, which hooks over this. Now, I actually snapped that little piece off there, but I think if you wiggle that and then get your hand in there and push that down, it'll probably release it. So I might have a go at fixing that, or have a look for a replacement part, because it's only screwed on. You know, it's only got a little screw underneath there, but there's no way you can get to that screw with the bumper on. Anyway, it's off. That's how we done it. We didn't break much. Let's get this on a trestle thing and look at where we're going to put the sensors in. Oh, and definitely didn't have to take them out. So it's just these, the middle-ish ones, 1, 2, 3 underneath on this model anyway. So now we've got to decide where, sorry, we're on the tripod thing, whatever that thing's, trestle. We've got to decide where to put these little sensors. So I've been on the interweb and looked at a couple of pictures of minis with factory fitted reversing sensors, sorry for me umming, and pretty much from the pictures you can see that it starts off up to the right of there, sort of about there-ish. So, and they are quite high, so we're going to set it quite high, sort of there, and we know because they are quite high, we've got no problem with the crash bar and stuff. There's loads of room behind, and you can see the height of the towing eye cover, so it's going to be sort of up here. So we should be clear of all this. So all I'm going to do is mark it up, lots of masking tape, bit of measuring, make sure they're all even and centered, you know, look at the pictures, see if it looks the same, and yeah, just mark it all up and get ready to drill. And this kit does come with a drill, I've got to say. It's a little hold saw. I mean, you won't be drilling metal with this, mind, but that's perfectly adequate for doing bumpers. I've been fiddling with this for ages, and I think I've got it. So I took my centre line of not the actual light, but the gap, the hole, and then I measured the centre line there using these lugs and stuff, and took a line over. So got a centre line there, and just fiddling around, what I've done is I've used a gap of 440mm between each one. So each gap 440, 440, 440. And I think that looks okay. And then measuring down from this edge is very, I don't know, vary by eye. So hopefully we'll be okay. I've tried measuring up from this edge and this edge, and I think this is the best I can do. I've eyed it up as much as I possibly can. So I think really we just got to go for it. I am going to put a little pilot drill in each of these first, just because with the hole saw it's a bit wide, you might not be able to guide it in, just because, why not? Anyway, I've measured more than twice and I only want to drill once. Well, I'm going to drill twice with a pilot hole, but yes, you get my meaning. Anyway, if you want to copy mine and it looks okay at the end of it, that's what it is. 440mm between each one. So basically centre line 220, centre line 220 and 440. Then 440. You get what I mean. If you've got to do this, good luck. This is taking me ages. Just done a test with an old ice cream pot lid, and I used a 3mm pilot drill and then the hole saw, and it works fine. These things hold in with little rubber lugs, so I don't want to push it all in because it's a bit of a pain to get out, but yep, that works. Now I've got to grip my teeth and do it to the bumper. Not come out too bad, I don't think. So, yeah. What do you reckon from there? They don't look too bad, do they? Pleased with that. I'm just going to deburr the back of them. I'm not sure, probably with a sharp knife, just take the edges off, and then I'll slip the sensors in. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. Had to tease the little, I'll show you what I mean. These little bits that hold it in, they're sort of like a silicone stuff. Just had to tease them in with a little screwdriver. And yeah, all fine. Upside down for you now though, sorry. Yeah, that's it. So next up, I guess, got to sort out where this wiring goes. Just tidied up the wiring a little bit by putting these stick-on zip tie holders. I mean, they're not tight. I could have put another one in, but yeah, it's just keeps it nice and tidy in behind the bumper, and then we got plenty of wire to sort out here. Whether I'll put this through the car or my coil it up in here, make it nice and tidy, I don't know. We'll see when we get into the car. Just tidied up the wiring a little bit by putting these sticky pads and zip tying it together just to hold it in place. And yep, we'll have to sort out this when we get it in the car. I'm guessing that we'll coil some of this up behind the bumper. Might put another sticky pad here or something and zip tie it, just so we don't have this in the car. We'll see when we get to it. But yeah, let's see what we've got to do over there. So the next thing we've got to do is get those cables from the bumper into the inside of the car. And what I'm thinking of doing is using the cable routing for the rear fog light, which goes in behind here, up there, and there's a grommet up inside there, which is obviously behind that light. So we need to get that out. So to get that light out, take this panel out here, which is just a couple of clips, and then there's a nut there. Can you see that one? There's a nut there, which we undo, and then to push it out, there's two clips up behind. You have to feel them, and then we'll pop the light out. There we go, it's out. And then to get that little plug off, squeeze that. Sorry, it's a bit dark, can't help with that. And then, should pull out. Oh, this is hard one-handed. There. So there we have the light out. That's the reversing light at the bottom. So we just need to find out what pins in this plug we need to tap into. I'll just do that in a minute and then I'll get back to you. Oh, and that's the grommet we need to get through as well down there. Just use my multimeter and put the reversing lights on, and that's the two that we need. Obviously the brown is the earth and the reversing light is blue with a yellow stripe. So we've got to tap into these to feed the box, which I'm just going to stick there. And all we need from that is power and earth from this, which goes into that box. It's all in the instructions, but yeah, this is the power to it. So basically what happens is when you put the reversing lights on, it just powers up this box. So to connect these power leads to the light and earth, we could use sort of connectors that crimp on, Scotch locks, whatever you want to call them. I'm not a great fan of them. So what I've done, or what I'm going to do, is if you pop off this little white cover from the plug, you just got to sort of squeeze those ends and it pops off. You can see inside the plug there, and obviously it's this one we want out. If you use a tiny little screwdriver, it's a bit awkward to do. I do apologise if I get in the way, but if you see there's a tiny little lug in there, you can press that down and pull it out a bit, and then it goes to there. You press it down again and pull it out, and then we've got our wire. So what I'm going to do is I haven't got any spare ones of these. If I did, I could have remade it with this in, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solder them together like that. Well, I did try and film me soldering it back together, or linking it up, but I was all hands and soldering iron in the way. So anyway, there we are. These are just soldered on now. I opened up the clips holding the insulation, yeah, I suppose you call it, and then closed it over the wire which I'd stripped, and then soldered it there. So hopefully we should be okay, and we should be able to put these back in. Click, click, nice and tight. Make sure they're right around. Oh, yep, make sure they're the right way around. Click, click, and then this thing should just pop over the top. That's it, back together, we are wired in. And I've just stuck the little control box there just so I can get the wire lengths right, and I've put the buzzer up there. Again, it's just got sticky pads on the back. I'm just going to tidy up the wiring here, just so it's nice and tidy. And then we've got to get this grommet. Hang on, I wonder if I can do it now. Maybe. I don't even know you can see that. Yeah, you can. Just try not to cut my fingers. There it goes. So we'll punch another little hole in this. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that's a funny looking one. Well, we'll put another hole in it, and we should hopefully be able to pass through the other little plugs through it anyway. I've progressed it a bit more, so I've tidied up the cable in here, and I've put some heat shrink on these four, what are they called? Sensor cables. Whatever, I don't know what they're called. These things, you know, the cables for these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this up through this grommet. So I punched a hole in the grommet there. Can you see that hole? There. With my little tool, which I'm reaching for, this thing. So I've just punched a hole in it. And I'm going to pass through each plug one at a time. That's why they're staggered. See, they're staggered. So that will go through there one at a time, and then that will go through, and hopefully should be a better seal because it's on a bit of heat shrink. So yeah, I'm going to do that. There's no point me trying to, well, I could put you on a stand, but it's just me pushing this through that cable, and then I'll show you what we've done inside after. There we go, they're all passed through there. Obviously that's got to go up a bit further to get that in the grommet, but yeah, I reckon it's time to throw all this back on. Reassemble is the reverse of disassembly. Assembly. Yes, let's, you know what I mean. It's the opposite of how we took it off. That's all back on. There's a bit of faffy with that 8mm headed bolt at the bottom, but yeah, there we go. And here we go. That's the cables up through the grommet, and that's the heat shrink, which is hopefully going to seal very well. Wiring to go to the light. That's the cables that need to plug into the sensors, which is A, B, C, D there. See, we've already got our buzzer in and power in. So I'm just going to connect these up. I'll probably zip tie some of this cabling around to tidy it up, and then put the light back in and we should be done. So that should be it done. That just goes on something like that, maybe not. There. Suppose we'll try it. Presume you can hear that. Well, short of giving it a good clean, I think that looks pretty good, and they don't look too far away from the paint code, so job is a good one. There we go. Well, thank you for coming along on a mini adventure. Oh God, you can tell I'm a dad, couldn't you? Never mind. Anyway, like I said, thank you for coming along. Thank you for watching the video. I'm hoping that was of some use to you, whether it's just how you get the back bumper off, pointing at the right bit, whether you put the new reverse sensors on, or even just getting the light out. It's all little jobs that need to be done, and if you can do it yourself, why not? Nothing there was too hard. It's a bit fiddly, a bit dirty, and knowing that 8mm headed screw in the bottom beforehand would have been handy, and also the extra little plug that's under there. Yeah, that little plastic clip plug thing. But I know now, you know now. So there we go. Like I said, I've said it again already. I hope this was of some use to you. If it was, please give us a thumbs up. Look us up on Instagram, larks_workshop. And I hope to see you next time. Cheers then! God, excuse me. I've just been recording without flipping pressing the button. Or pillow. Start again, I think, because that light's just about to fall on my head. And if you do like what we're doing here and would help the channel grow, would help to like. I really should learn to speak the Queen's English, shouldn't I? Yeah. That's my tummy rumbling. I can't be hungry. Do 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 brum 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 boo brum.